that our hearts are full of love and smiling all the time for our cousin. Lord, unfortunately, this is the only way families seem to get together, but thank you for the reunion that we have today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Well, I'm not sure that I know everyone here. I probably know you, but I haven't seen you in so long. I'm Don. It was Uncle Marvin for me. Pat, my mother, married her just a few months ago here. So the Spencer family's kind of full circle here. Chet and Bonnie and Marvin and my mother. And this is the place they always wanted to be. Is this cemetery and this spot, this place for those of you that knew my grandfather. He took care of this place for many, many years. And, thank goodness he picked the shady spot for us. A day like this, right? So if you want to step a little bit closer so I don't have to yell to hear things. My sister asked me to say a few words. Right now I just envision that Pat and Bonnie and Marvin and Grandpa Chet are all, you know how those four got going, man. It's a yelling match, and they're probably critiquing something right now looking down here. So we have a potluck dinner after. I understand a lot of people here can't make it to that. So maybe I was going to start out with a little short story about Uncle Marvin that I remember. And then I'd encourage if anybody else has something they want to say. But so we were a pretty tight family, and we did lots of things together. Uncle Marvin it seemed like he was always at those events, so he made the effort. The one real story that stands out for me with my uncle was, you know his love for Lincoln Continentals, which stemmed from my grandfather, but he had the most beautiful Lincoln Continental when I was 16 years old, and I got the idea that would be a great vehicle for me to take a prom date to prom. And so believe it or not, it was almost brand new, and he agreed that he'd let me take my date. You think about that today, letting a 16-year-old drive your brand new Lincoln to prom. But in return, I had to wash that car every weekend for, I think, about 8 months. That was my payoff for that car. But man, did he, you guys know Marvin, he loved those Lincoln Continentals, and he usually had 2 or 3 or 4 laying around somewhere that he was either stealing parts off of, or, he led a good life. He traveled extensively, which always amazed me that he was always willing by himself to take a trip to Disneyland or the Grand Ole Opry or something. And so he was an adventurous guy. So I'm glad they're all reunited now, and hopefully you're looking down here today. So with that, anybody else have something they want to say? Or
I don't know. Staying busy chasing all those skinless, hairless cats.
Oh, I know. That was another man. He and cats were.
They had a bunch of.
I never did get that one. I can understand the Lincoln Continental.
Yeah, I got the Lincoln too.
I'm not sure I ever understood the cat thing. And coins, man. He collected coins, and he was a collector of stuff, because I remember. He got my grandma Bonnie into. They both got into world wrestling paraphernalia, and one of the biggest fights I think we ever had as a family. I called it fake. I didn't know who was madder, Grandma Bonnie or Uncle Marvin. But I was calling it fake wrestling. He had his finger in a lot of things. And, I always admired the fact that he worked so hard, his whole life. I don't know how long he worked at Conkville, but
50 years.
It was a long time.
Long time.
50 years, yeah. So, he's going to be missed.
Yeah,
so,
he'll be missed.
Ember told a story. She said that on the summers when she would come up and visit Mom, that they'd always go to Grandma and Grandpa's. and Uncle Marvin would make her go downtown with him. and he'd take her everywhere to all the restaurants. And they'd have ice cream in every restaurant. and then he was always introducing her as his niece, and she said he just beamed. She said he loved his family. So she was that was a precious memory for her. And yeah, I have thought about his, obviously, because we're doing this, but he never ever said anything negative about anybody, ever, that I know of. And he loved everybody, and he would visit with you at 2 o'clock in the morning without a problem, and for long periods of time. So it wasn't just a, hey, what you doing? If you said you were busy, he was going to talk to you anyway. So he definitely was a people person, and he knew everything that was going on in Orfino. So if you think he didn't know what you were doing, you're mistaken, because he did.
He kept pretty good control at the post office.
Yes. Yes, he did. He did. And he worked, I remember him working most of the important holidays. He would work so that whoever was at the mill could have it off with his family. Not every single one, but the majority of them. He worked the holidays. Grandma would make a dish, and Grandpa would take it to the mill so that he could still have dinner. But that happened a lot.
That was kind of a normal thing, I think.
The dinner, the
Yeah.
hot dinner at the mill, that was definitely,
Took good care of it.
Yeah, it's sad to drive by there now.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible.
Driving up here today, it's like it was, my fondest days and memories up here were in the 70s and 80s.
In the tavern, in the bar.
Well, it was just driving, man, and we always driving, and
Yeah.
everything was, it was a great place for both my grandfather and my
Yeah, Chet, I remember going up to Chet and showing me how they run the debarker.
Oh, yeah.
He was pretty
So
good
that's
at
why
that.
he couldn't hear anything.
Oh, he
but,
couldn't hear
his
nothing.
Latter years, deaf as could be, but I understood why he was deaf too after going down here in that debarker for a while with him.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're where they need to be now. So
Yeah, they're all together.
anyway, I'd like to thank my sister Debbie for
Yeah,
doing all
they've
this.
been very nice.
I mean, bless her heart. When you live 300 miles away, it's a little tough to
Yeah.
well, and Lola,
do
thank
stuff
you
like
so
this.
much.
And bang, bang, too.
Yeah.
I was just going to say the same thing to thank Debbie and Lola, but I want you to know that if you ever need a grave digger, just let Debbie know.
Well, the guy that volunteered to help her, he backed out.
So just a word to the wise, if you dig a hole up here, come the day before and water it down.
So what's the deal here? Are we burying the shirts and things with it?